Okay, so welcome back to the third official attempt at two AIs. Yeah, so I'm doing the commentary post the game because I realised doing both at the same time was tricky because I do need to focus, and commentating while playing is really hard, particularly at my level. So it's already hard enough. So yeah, a bit of a different strat on this one. Something I'm not very well versed in at all. But I was watching the Red Bull Wololo 4 tournament that's going on right now. It was one of the group stages. I think it was Jordan versus Viper. They were playing on a map which has like a massive mountain range running through the centre of the map, and a lot of the players were picking, for that particular map, they're picking Tatars because they get a 25% damage bonus when fighting from a hill, which got me thinking about doing something with Tatars against the AI, because I know the AI like to throw units at castles, so I thought at some point during the game, if I can possibly kill one and then set myself up nicely on a hill somewhere with a castle and, cav archers like shooting from the base of the castle on a hill, I think it could be really strong. Just let them just flood units against me and I can just defend, wear them out, and then obviously try and boom behind it or whatever, or get some siege going behind that to try and tread them down from the safety of the hill. But that was the game plan. I can't actually. I played this game this afternoon. I'm recording now after work, the commentary, so I can't actually remember if I did a rush on this one or I went straight fast castle. Obviously, I knew going in I was going to go cow archers, so I wanted to get to castle age quickly. I can't actually remember if I go for a rush though. I guess a natural rush is scouts, maybe? I don't know. Well, I suppose you could do rush fast castle though. I'm not sure. We'll find out. But yeah. So this is the third official attempt that I've recorded and uploaded. But there's been, since the second one and this one, there's been a lot of attempts behind the scenes, trying different strats and just like playing around. It's something I do when I'm a bit tired. I don't fancy getting into a multiplayer game, which is like quite draining and potentially quite long. I jump on single player occasionally and just play 2 AI and see if I can beat them that particular day. But yeah, cav archers is a unit I very rarely use, if ever. I've seen them used before, and they are really good if you get them massed up and they get like a big ball of them, and they're difficult to stop. But it's something I never really try. But I need to start experimenting more, I think, with units and civs in this game. So I'm fairly I stick to a few things pretty much in this game, which is mainly cav civ. That's my favourite type of civ, is cavalry civs like Franks and Burgundians, but I should probably try and branch out a little bit more. So I did debate whether to record my voice going through the replay system on this, because I've got the replay, but I think I prefer being able to see my own mouse and the mouse clicks and stuff. I think it's a bit more, I like to see what I was doing at any given time. The replay's nice, obviously you can see what the AI are up to, but I think it's better this way. See what I was doing more specifically. Fairly clean so far. That ball all there was annoying though. Don't know why he ran that way. Slightly out of the town centre range there, but it's alright. Yeah, actually thinking about it now, I think we just go straight fast castle, we don't do a rush. Every single time I've tried the AI before, I've done a rush. Some form of rush to try and slow one of them down, but I think, in this one we just go straight fast castle. With some walls, obviously, to try and buy some time. Let's get the cow archers flooding out. So we're up against Magyars and I think, is that Bulgarians? I think that's Bulgarians. If my icon knowledge is right. So Magyars again are heavy cav civ. They've actually got a really nice combo. Their cavalry archers are pretty good. I think I was watching again the Red Bull tournament. Cav archers plus Magyar hussars are supposed to be like one of the really deadliest combinations for endgame, because they can research the tech that makes the Magyar hussars not cost gold, so it's pure a food thing. So they get like superior hussars for no gold cost, which is pretty cool. But obviously we don't let them go that far. Bulgarians, I think, were infantry civ. think that's right. But yeah, so we're going to go for the big wall off, which is pretty ambitious walling. I wanted to give myself plenty of space. I didn't want to be too cramped. It's nice knowing you don't have to expand more later on. So I had lots of wood lines safe behind the walls. I had a couple of golds. I think I had at least one stone safe behind the walls as well, which is nice. Which is all I needed for the game, I think. Nice few hits on the blue scout there. I did actually watch a bit of the replay, just the initial start of this game, and the AI did a really crap job at luring animals. Some of the lures were so bad. It makes you realise they're still very basic. The problem is obviously 2 of them though is still tricky, but like on their own they're not that hard. They're really not very basic, planned out play can beat 1 versus 1. I think their strength is once they get going. In the early game, they're obviously pretty weak, but I think once they get momentum, they're hard to stop. For kind of my level of player, anyway. So I think we've got 3 vills walling off right now. Most of the walls are complete. We're just top side's pretty much done. We've got to wall off the bottom side though. Just trying to get the walls done fairly quickly, because obviously the strat they tend to go for, the AI in this game on Arabia is like medieval pressure, feudal pressure. So yeah, maybe the walls were, I got away with the walling, but I think it was fairly ambitious. Obviously it's going to affect my castles now as well, because I've got vills, quite a few vills away from resources trying to wall up, so the castle time wasn't super quick, but quick enough for what I needed to do. So both in feudal now. So obviously I'm expecting archers or whatever fairly quickly here. But luckily the top side's now secure. It's just the south side. So yeah, I get another vill to wall off that bottom section in the pond. And we're all good. Actually, this game itself, like, it wasn't super optimized because I didn't really have a build for the cav archers in this one. I wasn't really following a build. I know like a standard 25 pop fast castle, but in terms of transitioning that into a cav archer build, I had no plan for it. I just sort of adapted as I went. So this could have been obviously a lot more efficient if I actually had a build to go along with it. This bloody scout was so annoying as well. They're really good at like harassing villagers that kind of way with the scouts. Super annoying. I think she gets a vill pick as well on the berries. Now the lines are something I want to point out in this game, which was so funny. I got attacked by a line in the very south there, but I think it won't happen yet. But in a second, we're going to see some awesome line attacks in our favour. So funny. That'll come in a second. So nice vill pick from the blue scout there. Super irritating. So up to Castle Age, or researching Castle. There we go. See the 2 lions attacking the the men at arm rush. I think they must have glitched out because the lions didn't get attacked the whole time. So that's 2 red men at arms dead, slain by lions. You gotta love it. And the same thing happened again. They made a beeline for that particular bit of wall, and the lions were just there, waiting. So the lions together killed 5 men at arms for me, which is pretty awesome. It's so lucky. You see that they're not attacking back; they're just sort of taking the damage and not actually attacking. So yeah, got very lucky with those those lions. So I decided to go for 2 archery ranges and just try and keep a constant production of cow archers from those 2. Still chasing men at arms. Yeah, so I didn't go for a particular boom this one. I went for just pure 1 TC play, for at least initially. I wanted to go for heavy military because obviously I didn't rush them in the early game, so I think getting as many troops out as I can. So now the other line's finna finish off that last man at arms. They finally get killed by archers, unfortunately, but they did a hell of a job for me. That was awesome. So lucky. So yeah, Castle Age. Yeah, I was saying I didn't rush them, so I knew I had to get some pressure on fairly quickly, some heavy pressure. So yeah, 1 TC play. Tried to keep constant production of the Archrangers up. Get a nice little ball of Cav Archers together. Wasn't too bothered about the pressure here because I knew my army was stronger. Once I get a few massed, I was going to move out and deal with it, so I wasn't too fussed. Just had to make sure they stayed outside the walls until I had, you know, a few Cav Archers. The walls are now finished as well, which is good, so I felt pretty secure. Obviously sitting in Castle Age, building troops, I knew they would be a way off Castle Age. They don't tend to get up that quickly because they always go for feudal aggression, so I knew I had a bit of time here to yeah, get some momentum going with the Cav Archers. So I think they're a unit I might start using more, to be fair, because they're so useful. Very irritating because they're just, you know, the hit and run style of tactic. But yeah, Master, they're super deadly. I'm sure there's some proper builds out there as well for them. Oops. I'm sure there's some proper builds out there for various versions of Cav Archers. Scouts into Cav Archers maybe, or yeah, booming into Cav Archers. So no pressure yet. Right, here we go, 9 Cav Archers on the way, so first bit of aggression goes out. I hadn't scouted my opponent either. I probably should have done that, to be fair. I had a scout cavalry down the south of my base that I didn't actually use towards the end, which was probably a mistake. I should have at least scouted the enemy, but yeah. The micro is not quite as good as it needs to be. So red hits Castle Age first. 20-minute mark pretty much. Pretty slow. Yeah, so one-shot villages with these, obviously. A few skirms, no problem. I think what I was happy about in this game was I kept up constant production of, well, at least so far I've kept up constant production of Cav Archers and villagers. It's been fairly smooth. A nice pick off there on the wood line as well. We killed a lot of vills on that bit. So red's already struggling. They went knights, but again here this is where we used the Tatar bonus. Sit on that hill and just wreck shop. So it's quite nice. This is the bonus of, I think this is the benefit of having an archer, a range unit, as opposed to going for melee units, because I think the mistake with the Burgundians and the Franks or whatever I used was the fact that if you're using melee units, your units will die because you'll be taking fights, you know, up close. With Cav Archers, you don't have to take any fights if you don't want to. You can just run away. So you're keeping your ball of troops alive the whole time. You're trading potentially really effectively. With cavalry, like melee cavalry, it's a lot harder to do that because you're always going to be losing troops. So I think particularly on the 2v1, trading 1-for-1 with the enemy is not good because obviously there's 2 of them. So you need to really to make it worthwhile, you need to be trading 2-for-1 in your favour. And it's really hard to do that with melee cavalry. But with archer cav, it's much better because like here we're just, you know, microing away from the cav, just taking shots, killing one at a time, and just, yeah, keeping our units alive. So I think by far the best way to do it, some kind of range unit. Obviously with me, I prefer the mobility as well of having cavalry, so I think the Cav Archers is a really nice unit for me in this kind of situation. So good pressure on red. We've killed a lot of his knights, which are obviously costly. We're keeping his wood lines pretty much locked down, killing a lot of vills, which is good. His score's plummeted. He's already, you know, about 1,000 score behind me, so that's good. Always good to see. Didn't have ballistics yet, I don't think, so we're still just bare bones. I don't think we've got bodkin arrow either. I think we've just got fletching and basic horse armour. It's enough for now though, we don't need to do anything. We're still fine. not bad on the economy balancing. We're still keeping production up consistently, so that's good. What's nice is about this point I was still ahead of blue as well, which was reassuring. You don't want to see, you know, because I was assuming blue was booming behind this. So seeing that the score was still very similar was reassuring. It wasn't going crazy ahead of me, so this is good. Some nice pickoffs again. Obviously just walling behind my initial palisades. Nice, I was lucky there with the timing of that arriving to the town centre. The AI is so stupid though. It was like 98% done, pretty much. If they just run away and then come back, I could have finished it, but he just had to delete it at like 98%, which is costly. But lucky find for me that I came at just the right time. So red is now very much, you know, struggling. Occasional knights coming out, but that's about it. Apart from that, he's pretty much dead. I think I decided to go in and hit blue now. Yep. Get a second TC as well. Because we can't let blue, you know, skyrocket too much. Only a third range, probably a bit late on that to be fair. Should have run that quicker. So blue had a decent force of crossbows there. So I thought I'd just... Again, this is the bonus of having the cavalry archers, because you can just... I saw that, I knew I couldn't take that one, like, you know, take that on with just the numbers I had there, so fair enough, run away. Just run around, take out some vills, no problem. I can still hurt blue without having to lose my mass of cav archers. I still had my gather point, I think, towards red, just to make sure we had red completely locked down. Because I think that is the key, is just to kill one off quickly and then, yeah, manage the other one a little bit more. So, Monastery University, thinking about imp at some point. Just prepping that. Getting a little bit sloppy with the micro on these guys. I was a bit slow reacting to some of the attacks they had, so I should have moved them away quicker. Getting some good numbers of cav archers here though. We've kept up constant production from like 2 and now 3 ranges, so the numbers are rising pretty nicely. Getting slow reactions there on the blue space. Lost a few more than we needed to. Okay, another TC, that's good. Slowly trying to boom behind it a little bit. Nice pickups there. Yeah, after this game I've warmed a lot to the cav archer. I'm not sure how like viable they are in a 1v1 situation in Arabia. I need to probably play around them a bit more, but they're definitely fun and annoying for the enemy for sure. Even mixing in like a couple of them could be a good idea, I don't know. So now I see that the reds like doing the AI thing of turtling near the TC. So they're just sort of like milling around the TC, not really doing much, not knowing what to do. That's the good sign for us, obviously. It means red's really struggling, so I just tried to surround reds and then put the guys on stand grounds, then like jump into the TC or whatever and just guard. Try and cut off as much ground as I could. So at this point I know pretty much that red's dead. So just a case of sitting on all the resources and just making sure he can't grow, and then it's just now focus on blue. Get the economy working properly now. A few more farms, upgrades. Now it's at this point I think I should have probably got a castle up quicker. Because we're still raiding and stuff, which is pretty good, but I think a castle up a bit sooner would have been better. I think here we're thinking about imp though, adding more farms to get some food and just think about imp. Which is fine. Just caught that in time before I lost the lost the cav archer. Bit of micro here. There we go. sloppy. That's the thing. Micro in one area, you neglect somewhere else, and I lost a few cow archers in blue's base instead of losing them towards red. That's the thing, yeah, it's just a bit too slow. Yeah, one thing I want to try and work on ranked games at the moment is macro, so keeping up villager production, keeping up troop production when I need to. It's something I think I can improve on a lot, because what tends to happen in my ranked games is if I get heavily pressured, obviously all my attention is going into defending, and I neglect my TCs, so my TCs go idle for a long time, and that really adds up very quickly. So practicing keeping the TCs going at all times, regardless of, you know, pressure incoming, I think is going to be a good step to improving. I think I did a decent job of it in this game. It's better than normal anyway. I was trying to be careful with that. So I think here we probably could have pulled a few more cow archers away from red space, because we had them surrounded. They weren't really growing. Because you only need like one in certain areas, you know, like a ring of one cavalry archers around the whole base to keep it secure. I didn't need as many as I had there. I think we start putting them away now. And do all the help I can get against blue. Just trying to get all his farms covered by at least one cav archer. So food's skyrocketing now. We should probably start selling some in a second to get some gold as well. Yeah, probably not the perfect balance. I think I've got probably too many on farms now, not enough on wood and gold, because they're the ones I need really to keep up production of cav archers as well, while also getting to imp resources. Still got a command lead though. Obviously red's dead. Blue is a good 1,000 score behind us, so we know we're in a commanding position right now. Just got to keep pushing. So yeah, selling some wood there. Sorry, selling some foods against the imp. Imp at 36, not terrible. That's another thing with me as well. I need to practice getting to imp quicker. I tend to just get to castle age and then just forget about it in the next stage and just go all out castle age. That's my move really. I don't really think about imp too much, but it's yeah, I need to improve on that, because getting the trebs out quick is so important. If you've got a good force with trebs sitting behind them, you can just sit and guard the trebs while the trebs do all the work and take out all the buildings. They're so valuable. So I think I decided to take a fight here. Probably not the best time to do this, given the fact that I was hitting imp soon. I could have waited for the upgrades to come in before I took the fight. But I thought with the hill bonus I could probably take it. Fairly even traded, to be fair. It's probably not ideal for me. Yeah, blue caught up in the score quite a bit there. So I lost a big ball of cav archers there, but blue lost a lot of crossbows as well. I just realised, well, blue was an imp before me, actually, so that's probably, yeah, not great. Those mangonels as well were really causing me problems. So I realised here the castle had to go there. It was a nice hill for me to defend. But blue, actually, yeah, that one engagement there, we lost. The score swung completely in blue's favour. So blue's now ahead of me in score. But we're on our way up. A few more archery ranges. I pulled a lot of ills to get the castle up. I knew that was the key then. Just hold that hill with the castle, that was it. Yeah, it came way too late, I think. To make this more efficient, that castle should have been up like early castle age. Really early castle age. And just have all the units from blue swarming towards it, sitting underneath it, and I could have just boomed it behind, you know. Just tried to get to imp quicker, get the trebs out quicker, but no, a bit sloppy. Sold a lot of food there actually. Probably could have put that into maybe hussar or something, but yeah. Checking on red every now and then, make sure he's still completely dead, which he is. I think red does like throw out the occasional monk and stuff like that, the occasional knight to try and get some position back, but he never really does. So castle on the hill though, that's the main thing. We've got a strong position now to you know, we've got the foothold against blue now, so holding that hill is going to be crucial, just while we build up behind it. So here we go. Yeah, they just think they get drawn to castles. They just love going towards castles. Excuse me. So there you go. You can see the Magyar Hussar there in action. This is probably the most precarious bit of the game, because at the moment I don't have that great a mass of cav archers, though I'm not particularly strong. They had a fair bit of pressure coming towards the castle, so I had to be fairly careful here. I've noticed on the queue there I'm missing a few. Yeah, the cav archers production is slowed down a bit. I'm not queuing any up right now, which is not good. Get some upgrades though, chemistry and bracer, that's what you need. Just try and get all the upgrades for the cav archers, make them as strong as they can be. Yeah, we're not getting our heal bonus right now either, but I can't really do much about that. Try to kill these Magyar Hussars. More production coming in now. We've got, was that 5 archer ranges? So that's good. A bit quicker. Got more of an economy behind it now, so we can support that a bit better as well. So my view here was I was thinking I was going to go like light cav in support of the cav archers. Try and take out the siege obviously with the light cav, and then have the cav archers sitting behind that to deal with everything else. Not a bad little engagement for me there either. I was sort of in a corner. It's a good thing to do with archers, is make a little choke point for yourself. So lots of melee units can't surround you, and just sit there and tank everything. So held off that wave of attack there, which is quite nice. Got a Treb on the way now. Got a few cav archers ready. The score's now back in my favour, which is good. I think that's the key. I will try 3 AI after this one as well. I think because if I optimise this strategy, because it's still very rough. This game was extremely rough. It's like the second time I tried it, and it's still very, very rough around the edges. I think optimised and execute a lot more efficiently. I think 3 is possible for me. Extremely hard, because I'm still obviously only a 1300, 1400 1v1 player, so I'm not that good at all. But I think it could be the way forward. So this is the thing. This is the position I wanted to be in from the start. It's just having a castle on a hill with trebs and a good wall of cav archers just defending the hill. Really annoying raid there. So I knew at this point we had a fairly good position. I just had to hold it and just reinforce it really. Just the economy. Probably should have gone for the relics quicker as well. This is the way I think you could possibly beat 3 AIs. Do what I did to red early on, and then I think a heavier focus on stone earlier. Because you could do this situation with 2 AI. You could have 2 castles, each on a hill nearby that base, and have like, let's say like three or so archer ranges gathering underneath each castle and just sitting there and just absorbing the attacks. Could be a good way to deal with it. So right here I paused because I had to go pick up my nephew from school. So it was like a 40-minute pause while I was just doing that. Came back, motivated to finish the game out, close it out. So I thought I'd double down as well. I got a second castle right next to that one, just to strengthen the position a bit. I knew at this point though I'd pretty much won unless I completely screwed it up. I was in a commanding leader at this point, and there should be no reason why I should lose this. It was yeah, just got to play properly and start mixing in some different units. I had to get the Magyar, I had to get the Hussars out or whatever, light cav, to try and do some raiding in the back as well, and also deal with the siege. We slowly start getting some, we get some light cav in now as well, which is good. Economy is a bit more stabilised, we've got a better balance of resources. Probably I should have had some still on stone though to add castles. It could have sped the game up a bit maybe, but it was alright. These mangonels are so annoying. They're potentially deadly, but do a decent job of, you know, targeting them down with the castles and stuff. Yes, that's like a death corridor there between the two castles. There's just no way for them to get through that. Yeah, so a monk managed to convert one of my cavalries, but it's not a problem. We had enough there to deal with it. Red's never going to get back in this game. So yeah, finally get some hostiles out so we can actually take out these mangonels and monks and things. Nice little ball of cavalries as well at this point. I'm not sure, are they heavy cavalries yet? Can't tell. I don't think I ever actually got heavy cav. I'm not sure. No, I didn't. No, they're still cavalry archers. I didn't get heavy cav. Wow, okay. That's probably something I should have prioritised. I can afford it at this point as well. Get upgrades, but no heavy cav. Because it didn't really matter at this point, but it's probably something I should have thought about. I really like this tactic with the Tatars though, just sitting back on a hill with trebs. Because how do you push that? How do you push that? Like, you use like such a big force, or like some really nice shots with like some honor guards or something. But like, how do you push that generally? It's so hard. Nice shot there though. I'm lucky that was only a mangonel shot, because anything heavier would have been devastating. Would have lost a lot there. But yeah, it's like there's no way in. There's literally no way in. Trebs on a hill, cav archers on a hill. You need like a massive force to push that. Especially with two castles, it's so difficult to push. So yeah, it's something I want to explore in like ranked games. This kind of idea. I think this is, you know, not rushing a position, just holding it, knowing I have the advantage and just exploiting it. So yeah, just slowly pushing an enemy back with trebs and stronger forces. So pushed in a bit further here to try and take out more production buildings. We've got hussar raids in the west there, which is nice. Closing in on max pop. Again, this is still pretty sloppy to be fair. I mean, look, we're losing more than we need to, I think. The hussars could have come in quicker. More efficient. We pushed our trebs too far forward as well, so they were a bit undefended against certain things, but it wasn't too bad. I definitely think 3 is possible for me. It just has to be a perfect game, I think. I also know that 3 is the max for anybody to do, because if the Viper can't do 4, then I don't think anyone can do 4. So I know 3 is the max that humans are possible, humans are capable of right now. But I think I could do 3. Okay, I just need to get a bit quicker, a bit more efficient, learn a proper build for this, and then have a perfect game. And then I think it could be doable, but it'd be fun to try. I'm just super happy I've done 2 though. Super happy I've done 2, because I've had so many attempts by this point. Yeah, it feels good to see. It's like one of those little achievements I was happy to get. So at this point, red's actually, yeah, still going, but was dead. Blue's got nothing left at this point. We're knocking down town centres now. We've got trebs like in decent positions with a bit of cover. Yeah, there's no stopping us now, so it's over. Just gotta close it out. So I think they do resume pretty soon. You know, it's desperate when the villagers start getting pulled off to deal with themselves. I did try this with the Mongols. I had the idea of cav archers, but the problem with the Mongol version of this is that you have to create the manga die from the castles, and it means you've got to focus your economy a little bit more around stone, whereas the cavalry archers you can still neglect stone, no problem. And you can go for the standard wood, food and gold. You don't have to really worry about stone if you don't want to. I think it's a more natural build than Mangudai. At least for me, I think it's a bit easier to manage going from archer range. It does mean you can make a lot more quicker as well. I think obviously Mangudai is the better unit, but they take longer to mass, and it's a lot more expensive given the castle cost. So having them come from the archer range, I think, is really nice. It's a nice balance. So I don't think I'll be able to get a stronger strat than this. This seems to be really the way to deal with the AI, to be fair. So, far too many birds flew over Mine Kingdom. Yeah, that's true. There goes red. I think blue is following shortly after. But yeah, overall though, really like the strat. I think just some optimizations, it could be really good, and there's potential for taking out 3. Obviously we didn't do it perfectly, it was still pretty sloppy overall, but I mean it was still fairly sloppy, but it wasn't that hard, so it makes me think if we can do it really efficiently, then 3 is, that's what makes me think that 3 is definitely possible. Streamline it and it could be super effective. Yes, I think we get Resign any second now from blue. I was so happy at this point. I was like, oh hell yeah. I've had so many attempts up to now, it's just, yeah, it feels great to finally do it. I think it was nice for me as well because it felt like it was, you know, proof that I'm improving at the game. Because it's a bit of a slow process, you know, learning builds and trying to improve like your hotkey speed and that kind of stuff. So I remember not too long ago I was struggling to beat 1, so now beating 2, it does feel good. It's sort of, you know, proof that things are improving slowly. Always nice. And there we go. Shorefist near my villager appeared something. I missed it. Appeared all too sleepy. Okay. There we go. GG. 2 AI complete. It's done. Finally. Oh, happy days. I did actually. I played around for a while. I actually had some varied success. I think stonewalling is really effective against the AI, at least for buying time. That's what I tried with the Mangudai build. I couldn't get it working quick enough because Mangudai is so slow to mass. I just couldn't get it working properly. But I think if you go on the offensive quicker, it doesn't really matter if you stonewall or not because you're keeping the enemy in their base. So, but yeah, just so much coverage of the cav archers. It's just they're really effective. Really effective against multiple enemies. I think you need some kind of mobile unit. I don't think normal archers would do as well. So killed, good KD there for us. Obviously collected pretty much the most of everything. Castle time could have been quicker. But yeah, there we go. 2 AI done. On to 3. GG.